Good morning everybody and welcome to Hearthstone on a budget. Today I want to show you a Warlock deck that I have built over the past few days. It is incredibly cheap. This deck will run you about 1660 dust. So you can see that's really nothing, right? That is so cheap. It's only barely more than a single legendary. It plays 19 commons, 9 rares, 2 base cards, and 0 epics and 0 legendaries, which again makes it very accessible, very cheap. Now, is this deck strong? Yes, it is definitely very powerful. I have a very good win record against Pirate Warrior. Against other aggressive decks, you can often just outsue them, right? You outswarm them, you go wide and you trade better and you win that way. You can be really aggressive against Rogue and overwhelm them, against Mage and just make them run out of ice blocks. It does have some weaknesses. The biggest one, and this is really something that I need to bring up because it really matters. The biggest weakness this deck has is Paladin. I have not been able to win a lot against Paladin. Paladin simply overwhelms you. They have too many options to deal with your stuff. Now, there is a tech card that you can put into this deck very easily that will deal with Paladin. And that is the Hungry Crab. So Hungry Crab is this guy right there, 1 mana, 1/2, destroy a Murloc in game +2/2. The reason why it is not currently in the deck is because it is an epic, right? And I wanted to keep the deck as cheap as possible. This right here will still make it so you stand a chance against Paladin. I can definitely keep games close and sometimes win. It's just most of the time you really struggle, right? But Hungry Crab can really turn that around. So if you have Hungry Crabs, then what I recommend is you take out the Vicious Fledglings and put those in. They will definitely deal well with any sort of Paladin, since they are basically always Murloc based. Another card that you can play is of course the Golakka Crawler. This guy is a little bit cheaper, destroys a pirate and gains +1/+1. Again, I would take out the Vicious Fledgling. This is really one of the big tech spots. This card right here is definitely somebody you can take out. Now let me go and explain the general game plan. You have a lot of 1-drops, as you can see, right? Firefly, Flame Imp, Possessed Villager, Voidwalker, and Abusive Sergeant. Although the Abusive Sergeant is not really something you want to play on turn 1. So you play a 1-drop, then you just curve out with turn 2. Turn 2 is usually something where you have Direwolf Alpha or Knife Juggler, but you don't really want to play them. So you try to either get one of these guys or you go for more 1-drops. And that's again where the Firefly is absolutely fantastic. Turn 3 is usually pretty powerful. Darkshire Consummate, Devil's Egg, and Aggnapper and Vicious Fledgling are all really strong cards. You try to gain control of the board, keep control of the board, and then push constant damage while always clearing your opponent's board, right? They never have anything on the board and you just keep killing them. Devil's Egg is kind of an anti-AoE tool. It also works incredibly well with the Ravenous Pterodax. It works well with Defender of Argus. You have a lot of synergies here, right? So the Knife Juggler works well with Firefly. It works well with Possessed Villager, with Balefin Tidehunter. To some extent with the Devil's Egg. Definitely works well with Aggnapper. And, well, I think that's about it, right? But that's already a pretty good amount. You've got Direwolf Alpha. This one works well with all of the 1-drops, of course. It's very powerful with the Devil's Egg. It's very powerful with the Aggnapper. Even with the Darkshire Councilman, you can do some cool plays. Spellbreaker may look a little bit silly. I found this card to be very effective. You can use it in all sorts of ways to get a little bit of damage in to just like finish the game. You get through a taunt, you unfreeze one of your minions to pop the ice block. There's a lot you can do with the Spellbreaker, but sometimes you don't need them and then you just tap and discard him or something like that. Right, Doomguard is in the deck because he's just one of the best minions you can possibly have. This guy is incredibly powerful. One of the cool things about this deck is not only is it very cheap, but Abusive Sergeants, Flame Imp, Voidwalker, Direwolf Alpha, Knife Juggler, Defender of Argus, Spellbreaker, and Doomguard. All of these cards will stay relevant forever, because they are part of the classic set. And in fact, I would argue that every single one of those cards has been relevant to the Hearthstone meta since ever. Maybe not the Spellbreaker, but other than that, all of them have always been very powerful. Some of them even getting nerfed, right? Abusive Sergeant got nerfed, Flame Imp got nerfed, Knife Juggler got nerfed, Defender of Argus got nerfed. I think I'm not entirely sure, but I think he was a 3/4 at some point, right? So all of these cards have always been really powerful, and they will always be powerful. So if you create them now, if you craft them now, you're never gonna regret it, because they will always be good. Now, if you do have access to some more expensive cards, right? For example, you have access to Karazhan, which is one of the things I really took care or like paid attention to in this deck building. Is I didn't want to use any Karazhan cards, because I noticed last time that there was a point where a lot of you were like, Bommy, I don't really have the expansion, right? Not the expansion, but the adventure. There we go. I don't really have the adventure, and it's kind of expensive to buy an adventure wing just for one card. I get it, right? So I excluded the adventure. But if you do have the adventure, Malkazar's Imp and Silverware Golem are very, very powerful. In that scenario, what I recommend you do is you take out the Spellbreaker, you take out the Vicious Fledgling, you add in the discard package. So these two, right? And then there's also Soulfires, which are pretty strong. I wouldn't necessarily say you need those, but you can put those in. Maybe replace Abusive Sergeant. Darkshire Librarian is very, very powerful. Lakari Fellhound, right? So there's a lot of really strong cards here. So Lakari Fellhound is something you can add in. Darkshire Librarian, Malkazar's Imp, maybe a Soulfire, and the Silverware Golem. You take out some of the, odd-looking cards, like the Balefin Tidehunter is definitely one I would take out. Fireflies, maybe. The Vicious Fledgling definitely has to go in that scenario. And maybe even the Egg Napper. And you put in those discard cards, and then you have a seriously super competitive tier 1 beating deck. But seeing as, again, I wanted to exclude Karazhan, I would put this deck at like tier 2, tier 3. It is definitely going to be very difficult to get to Legend with this, I'll be honest with you. I think it may be possible if you don't run into too many Paladins, or if you do have too hungry crabs. But other than that, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. It does, however, beat a lot of other very strong decks. It is absolutely something that I think is competitive. So anyway, I'm going to try to do one of these for every single class in the game, although it's going to be tricky for some of them. I'm not really sure how I'm going to pull off Priest, but hey, we'll try, right? Anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm going to show you some clips of the games I played on stream now. If you want to hang out on stream, I would always appreciate that, right? I stream Hearthstone every day. I try to stream Hearthstone every day, so yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoy the games, and goodbye. Okay, we're going up against the Warrior. Against Warrior, Golakka Crawler would be very powerful. We might want to run a Golakka Crawler or the Balefin Tidehunter, right? Just like take that out. Kind of like keeping Knife Juggler. I just like Knife Juggler in general. Oh, cool, I got the Ravener's Pterodax. Flame him, Balefin, Coin, Ravenous, eat a guy. Go hard. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Somewhat. Not really sure if it's like a great idea, but it's at least an idea. Okay, it's a warrior. I wonder what the warrior is gonna do here. So it's pirates. Okay, what are you considering right now? Whether or not to hit me? You don't have to play around Molten Giants yet. Hydra is too dangerous? I think Hydra is really good. And I think Hydra would do well on this deck. Oh, come on, man. What a guy. What a guy. There we go. Oh, Possessed Villager. That's a good one. That is a really good one. I'm very happy about that. Turn 2. Bloodsail Raider. Okay. So, oh, second Balefin. That is awesome. Very happy about that. Because now I can coin Knife Juggler Balefin. Alright, and with both of those, we just like shoot two attacks immediately into his face. Presumably his face. I mean, it's not like I'm ever gonna hit the target I actually want to hit, right? But this actually is gonna work pretty well, I think. Right, like we play this, we play these two. Kill it. Come on, you can do it. 1. Yes! Knife juggler! Let's go. On the next turn, if he doesn't clear, which actually looks kind of unlikely, I can Ravenous Pterodax, the 2-1, probably. I imagine the 1-1 won't make it. And get a big ass guy on the board. Or if it doesn't, like if it doesn't come to that, I can always do something else. Oh, that is interesting. I think I might be better off just trading. Do I want to deal 6 damage to myself though? Like if I play this, and I play 2 Flameums. Alright, I play 2 Flameums. I deal 6 damage to myself for some board control. I don't think that's worth it. This guy's just a problem though. Yeah, I gotta do it. Man, that really hurts. Oh, that doesn't feel good. That does not feel good, does it? Dealing 6 damage to yourself against the Pirate Warrior. Oh, no. But I think it is the right play. Okay. Dread Corsair and buffing up the weapon even more. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh wow, double Dread Corsair. The Doomguard. I guess we're not playing you at all. No, I think Doomguard is just stronger. Right, the Doomguard just does more things. What does he? Man, that weapon is the real problem. Like, he runs that weapon into my guy, and I'm just really taking damage. That's the power of Pirate Warrior, right? That's how Pirate Warrior wins games. Pirate Warrior trades with the weapons, and then just uses the minions to go face. It never needs to worry about, you know, trading minions like I am doing, right? I'm gaining board control by killing his minions. He doesn't have to do that. He gets board control just by hitting him with his weapon. But at the same time, I have one advantage, and that is life tap. That's something he doesn't have. Because life tap just keeps going. That's the beautiful thing about it. Life tap always keeps pushing more. Right, we can always just click that button again. We can always throw new stuff on the board. And that is probably not very good. Although actually we can deal with it. I mean, if he double trades, yeah, I don't know. I think it's unlikely he's going to double trade. He's probably just going to go double maybe just face once. Yeah, okay. It's fine. Tap again. Yeah, that's probably going to be the last tap I do for the entire game. But I think I had to do it. Now I have a lot more resources than he does. I'm also a lot closer to death than he is, but my board is looking solid. I think he drew a weapon. That puts me on a clock. Face, okay. Hero power. Axe. No, nothing? Okay. Well, we're just going to run out all of this shit. And go in. So he needs to kill me now. But if he can't do that, we actually won. Okay. That's not it. That doesn't do enough. Actually, that's it. We won. There's no card in Pirate Warrior that deals more than 6 damage. That does not exist. And so we actually managed to win this game. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? He's just trying to stay alive right now. But there's no way. It's too much. Oh, that works actually. No, that is actually a way to stay alive. Okay, how much do we have? 6, 8. Just barely not enough. Well, we're just gonna go for it. He already used the Mortal Strike, so now the chance of him getting Leroy or another Mortal Strike is pretty low, and he needs exactly that. So I'm not gonna tap. We increase our chances of winning if we do not tap. And I assume he got it? No. Yeah! Got him. Look at that. Beat Pirate Warrior. Dude, if you can't beat Pirate Warrior, you can beat everybody. Druids are always scary. Druids are always so terrifying. I think we wanna be better on curve. Yeah. It probably makes more sense to have a better curve here. Play the Void Walker. Now, we don't know what kind of druid it is. Aggro or Jades. That's the two kinds of decks that really exist. Nobody really plays anything else. Other than me, who plays Hammered self-fatigue deck. No. Okay, coin into Wild Growth, I assume. Power of the Wild. Okay, so it is... it is... It is a Sue deck of sorts. Well, Sue, I don't know, what do you call it? Just that, you know, the board flooding kind, the aggressive druid. Now, I guess aggressive druid, what you really want to do is you want to just like keep their board clear, right? You just keep it clear. If you keep their board clear, they can't really do anything. And the Direwolf Alpha, he actually fights well. Usually, it's not really the strongest body, but right here might be able to do something at least. Okay, I think we trade like this. Do I play the Egg Napper? I think I want to play the Egg Napper. I don't know. It just kind of like maybe makes him center his attention on not the Direwolf. And if he does go for the Direwolf, right? I assume he wants to play a minion. He could of course hero power and kill both, but then that's fine with me. And the next turn I can Knife Juggler. And if the Egg Napper survives, I can Knife Juggler and then, you know, run the Egg Napper into something and get lots of value that way. Alright, that seems fine. Innovate Swipe. And another guy. I assume the Flame Elemental. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. He's run out a lot of stuff already. I think we just play our entire hand except for the Pterodox. I'm not too worried about taking damage here. Like, that deck really wins by taking control of the board. So if I am in control of the board, I'm not too worried about too much burst. Now, something that is a little bit scary is, of course, living mana. But I think we can just play around living mana by not playing, I don't know, just having stuff on the board again. Like, it's just a good strategy against that deck. Okay, taunts up. Oh, that works. That is actually probably the single best card I could have drawn. Actually, never mind. I think I want to trade first. Now that I missed that shot. Right, like before that there was a chance of... actually no, I still got a chance of getting 2 shots into that. Is that worth it? That's probably worth it. I do get 2 shots from this guy. Oh, come on, man. Let's go. No respect. I think I'm gonna actually trade in the Knife Juggler now. I would rather have a bigger body. So I can't just clear whatever he plays and just go 14 face. Oh yeah, let's go. That's of course a little bit scary. He doesn't really have any mana next turn though. And he almost certainly wants to clear this guy. So let's just go. Alright. Put him down to 7. He only got 1 mana. Savage Roar kills us, right? Innovate Savage Roar, but he already used an Innovate. I don't ever think it's a great idea to play around a card twice like that. Okay, there you go. Got all of his mana back. Patches even. Well, I guess it lets him clear. Doomguard? Ah, no Doomguard. Doomguard? Ah, no Doomguard. But actually, at least mana efficient. I got to play everything I have. And we got him. Boom, baby. Look at that. Nice. I worked out pretty well. Even winning against the aggro druid here. Another warrior. Now, I wonder if this is again the pirate variant, or it could be some sort of taunt warrior. Haven't seen many taunt warriors though. Okay, we probably don't want this guy. Probably don't want this guy. I think playing on curve is always the most important thing. I like having this one because he's just so strong if you actually get to adapt him. Oh, Firefly's great. Firefly's great. So he didn't play his quest, which tells me it is likely a pirate. Could also be this new mid-range warrior that has been popping up. I think it is. There's no way pirate would armor up on turn 2, unless he has a really, really bad draw. Okay, we're just gonna keep going wide. Right, we're gonna keep spreading out our stuff. That's why I like the Firefly. Right, Firefly, you play it on turn 2, you just play it again. You get some really nice bodies on the board. There's the axe. Okay. 3 mana, Bilefin Tidehunter. Gonna keep going wide. Gonna keep going wide. So, we're of course pretty weak to Whirlwind. I think at this point I still gotta assume it's pirates though, right? Like the mid-range warrior is really not very popular at all. Oh, he's just going phase, yeah. So, we do this guy, we eat him. Nom. Plus 3 health for Wind Fury. Ah, let's make a 4 mana 7/7. Oh, what taunt? 4 mana 4/7 taunt. Oh, that one is good here. Okay, we just hit here, and I think we trade this. I would like to keep the Death Rattler around, just in case. I think having this guy with still his Death Rattler intact is better than keeping the Firefly around. Oh, Bittertide Hydra. So it is confirmed to be Pirate Warrior. But I can actually do some funny things like this. Yeah, maybe the Bittertide Hydra wasn't really the best option, my friend. I don't have much HP left, you gotta get through that taunt. 2 health. Yeah, that doesn't do anything though. Like, how do you deal 7 damage, right? Mortal Strike doesn't do it. Whirlwind? Yeah, play the Whirlwind. Oh, Patches coming out. Oh, this is gonna be a beautiful lethal. Look at this beautiful lethal. Got him. Nice. Alright. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And hope to see you guys tomorrow. And don't forget to leave a rating.